Hi everyone, and welcome to Embrit's Digital Cupboard. In today's episode, the first on the channel, we're going to be taking a look at this Apple iMac G3. This is a final revision model, a summer 2001 version in indigo manufactured in January 2002, making it a little over 19 years old. It cost me £50 on eBay, and it's been sitting in someone's garage for well over a decade. It's got a PowerPC 750CX processor, it's been upgraded to 576 megs of RAM, and has the stock IBM Death Star 40GB disk. And basically, it works 100% fine. This machine was originally delivered with OS 9.1, but at some point in its life, this one got upgraded to OS X 10.4, i.e. OS X Tiger. Unbelievably, this will still connect to and load the Apple website, although you can't use it to actually buy a new Mac. To restore this machine, we're going to do two things. We're going to replace a 20-year-old spinning hard disk with a 120GB SSD and downgrade it back to OS 9. In a later video, we're going to replace the CMOS battery with an external battery pack, but in this episode, we're only worried about sorting out the disk. This disk cost £22, and I had a quick look online, and back in 2003, you could buy enterprise solid-state storage, which was not cheap. For instance, Texas Memory Systems offered the RAM-SAN 320, offering 640GB of RAM, and this cost $126,000. Two of those to get to the capacity of 128GB SSD, adjusted for inflation, comes to $366,000, or just over £250,000. So we're going to be giving this Apple iMac G3 a £250,000 facelift. So let's get right to it. So we're just going to follow the iFixit instructions to disassemble this machine. We're going to get down to the ESD and then stop. The model in question is an M5521. So when we're taking off the ESD, we have to be a little bit careful of the VGA port out the back. But once we've done that, we've then exposed the 4 screws that hold in the 3.5-inch IBM Death Star drive. Then the drive just slides out. Okay, so now the star of the show. We've all seen 2.5-inch SATA SSD drives before. What's new is the fact that we have here a 40-pin IDE to SATA converter, or a parallel ATA to SATA converter. And this is what we're going to be using to upgrade this machine. It's been a long time since I had to deal with a parallel ATA or IDE connection, so I just want to confirm the jumpers are correct, because obviously when we were in parallel ATA world we have a primary and secondary drive. This needs to be set to the primary, otherwise known as master, and I want to make sure that we've got the connector the right way up, because it's not a keyed connector on that StarTech adapter. I've been slightly lazy here and just fixed the drive in with one screw. It's not really going to move around that much, and I could have used some tape or some glue in order to keep it into place, but this should just stay where it's at. It's a very light drive, it only weighs a few grams. Now all we have to do is just reverse the iFixit instructions and fit the ESD and the base of the case. The question is now, have I broken it? Have I taken a perfectly good 19-year-old iMac G3 and turned it into a paperweight? If I have ever done this before, it was, 20 years ago, so I don't know what to expect at this point, but at least something has appeared on the screen. Okay, so now we've booted into the CD, we just have to install it. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, I haven't looked at any instructions, so I'm just going to faff around with the options until ultimately I work out that I need to initialize the disk and then install onto that disk. In the last 20 years, we've got rather more turnkey on installing fresh operating systems on fresh disks. So it was at this point that I worked out that this Mac has a VGA output that mirrors what's on the display. So I could have taken what's on the screen and put it nicely into OBS, and then you could see it more clearly. So in the next video we see on this iMac, we'll have all the video nicely captured. And now it takes me a really long time to work out where the restart option is because it's not on the Apple menu in OS 9. So okay, now it should boot from the freshly installed operating system on our nice new SSD. So I left this section at 1x speed so that we could all enjoy how quickly / slowly this boots using its new SSD. I suspect this is a lot faster than it would be using the IBM Desktop drive that it came with, but here we are booting to a new SSD in all its glory. So that's it from me on this video. We've successfully managed to replace a 20-year-old disk in a 19-year-old machine with a brand new factory fresh Kingston 120GB SSD. So in the next episode, we're going to take a look at running some software on this thing and getting on the network and getting on the internet. And in the episode after that, we're going to look at swapping out that pesky onboard CMOS battery with something that's unlikely to leak and destroy the entire motherboard. Take care, and don't forget to like and subscribe.